Hola, muchachos y muchachas. I wanted to go ahead and, for those of you who are in my 7th, 8th, and ninth period, as well as those who are at home, I wanted to do a short screencastify to kind of model how we're doing MASH. So do the instructions. Some of you have played MASH before, some of you haven't. It's just kind of a fun way of predicting your future. Sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't, but it's just for fun. Okay, and so what you're going to do, there are 3 pages. Okay, this is the main one that we'll use at the very end. Okay, we're going to put complete sentences to show what our future is going to be like. The second page gives us a lot of good possible vocabulary that we can use as part of our determining process, what our future is going to be. And so you'll notice here we have some verbs. We'll use these verbs in our complete sentences up here. Okay. The rest of these will come with each of the categories that we are going to learn our future for. So we have la ciudad, that's just a place. Okay, that literally means city. Okay, that's where we would live. We have our esposo or esposa, that's who we are married to. We have domicilio, the kind of home we live in, whether it's an actual house or it could be un barco, una casa, caravana. All of these are possible things that we can live in. Un castillo even, right? And then we have la carrera, that's our job. We have a lot of possible jobs up here. Okay, if any of these are not some that you want to use, you can go ahead and just look them up on Spanish Dictionary, but we do want to make this all in Spanish. Okay, when we say hijos, that would be our number of hijos, that would be the amount of kids that you have. That answer can be 0 if you want one of these to be 0. And transporte, what kind of vehicle you drive, and here are some options for those as well. So what you're going to do is, if you're working with a partner, so that's for our in-class friends, what they will do is they will fill this out for you. Okay, and so what they'll do is they're going to write some of these options down right here, so we can say things like Indianapolis or New York City, right, or Mars. Okay, whatever we want to do. I'm going to fill this out as an example for us. Okay, we'll also say Los Angeles, and just for our Spanish friends, La Ciudad de Mexico. So what we're going to do is this, and I'm going to model it here, but if we go to the instructions on the very top, what it says is count in Spanish and cross out every third item. Okay. This is one way to do it. You can make 3 dots for those who are doing it on paper, and just you'll count every time just to make sure you're getting 3. When you hit 1, you're going to cross it out. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. And you won't count it again once it's crossed out. But what we want to do is eliminate 4 of our options and leave just 1 as our prediction, right? And so I'll do that as an example here. And so we're going to count. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So we cross out Mars. We can do strike through if we want. And then we start off right here. 1, 2, 3. Right? So we're not going to live in Indy, right? New York. 1, 2, 3. Not Mexico City. And then we go 1, 2, 3. So we cross out New York City. And so our answer is, we want to highlight that, Los Angeles. So we're saying that the game MASH has told us that we are going to live in Los Angeles. Okay. So you'll do that for all of these. Okay. Again, if you're working with a partner, they'll put down names of, could be celebrities. Okay. Let's try to stay clear of people in class. I've done that in the past where you're allowed to do that, and it's turned into something that's offensive, where it's someone you don't want to be associated with, and then that hurts their feelings. Okay, so let's stick to people who aren't in our school or celebrities. Okay, that makes it a little more fun too. And so you'll go through and do these. Now, when you have all of your matches, okay, all of your predictions, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up to this page here, the very first page. And this is where our connection to our infinitive expressions is going to come. We're going to use voy a, right? I am going to. So it's talking about the future. I am going to live in Los Angeles. I am going to be married to Brad Pitt, right? Whatever that is. So I'm going to model how we would put that in a complete sentence. Okay, just with the one we just did with our living situation. Now, all of the verbs we're going to use are right here. So we're talking about living in a certain city, so we're going to use our verb vivir. So the way we do that is this. Okay, I gave you the model here and how you're going to start. So we say yo voy a, and then we just want the infinitive, right? The infinitive is the verb before we conjugate it. We're going to leave it vivir. We don't have to conjugate it. And then we say en Los Angeles, right? And that's our answer. That's what we did for that. So what we're saying is I am going to live in Los Angeles. And so you'll go through with each of these verbs. So if you take a look, each of them corresponds to one of these categories. So who we're married to, we're going to use voy a estar casado or casada con, and then the person, okay? Domicilio, we can use vivir again, right? And then carrera, we can use ser, right? Voy a ser maestro. I'm going to be a teacher. Okay. The number of kids we can use to have, tener. Voy a tener 5 hijos. And then the last one, transporte, we can use the verb conducir. Okay. As in this example here, yo voy a conducir un autobús. Okay. So what I'm saying is, in the future, I'm going to drive a bus. That's what I'm going to drive around town, is a bus. Okay. And so that's what we do. We want to have this in a complete sentence, and we can use any resource we need to do these sentences. But the fun part will be our predictions. So if you're in class, you do that with a partner. If you're at home, you can come up with them yourself. Okay, but do the counting. You can change the number or change where you start counting. Otherwise, it's going to be the same number every time. It'll always be number 4 if you start with number 1. Okay, so you can kind of shift that around. The next time, start on number 2, or just do it randomly. Pick a number randomly between 1 and 5, and that's where you'll start, or something like that. Okay, so have fun.